Cathy, how did you find carnivore?
Well, like a lot of folks, I happened on uh, very much grace, I feel. YouTube. YouTube. I think my first was Steak and Butter Gal, Bella, and I started listening. I had many health challenges, many mental and physical challenges, and I was interested. I was ready for a change. I was in bed all day. So that's
Wow.
what happened there. I guess to start my challenges, um, cognitively, I was really going downhill. I'm in my mid 70s and I lost my mom with Alzheimer's, and I was pretty concerned about my cognitive functioning. I had been going to the gym and swimming 4 days a week, which that ended. I wasn't doing any of that. I was in bed all day. Uh, Many structural issues, scoliosis, degenerative disc. But the main issue I had was diverticulitis. Uh, my family and I were vegetarian maybe over 40 years. Then I went into the juicing, the raw food, the salads. I think for 10 years straight, I juiced carrot, celery, beet, and I ate raw food. Well, I developed diverticulitis, and it was so bad that I really couldn't leave the house comfortably because I needed to be near the bathroom. So I was ready. I was ready for a change. I was active my whole life. Uh, I raised and trained horses, and I had 3 kids as a single mom, and I was very active, and I seemed to, I was doing the blue green algae, the everything thought I was supposed to do. And I kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. So I listened to the video and I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I went out and I bought some hamburger. I didn't know how to cook meat. I really didn't. Uh, Maybe a hamburger I could cook, but we didn't cook a lot of meat in our household. So I got the ribeye, I got the butter, I got the hamburger, and I started in. We live in a state that is number 2 per capita for organic farms and meats, and which I didn't know. We have 500 certified organic farms in the state of Maine, and there's a lot more, but they just haven't been certified, but we do use them. The state uses them. So I was lucky in that regard. So I then, cold turkey, I went from raw food to carnivore. My kids thought I was pretty crazy, but
What a change from 40 years of vegetarian.
it was it was intense. It was intense. It took me about 3 months to acclimate to the fat adjustment overall, but I lived in the bathroom anyway, so it was no big deal. And it wasn't that bad. It was, I'll tell you, day 2, I got out of bed because I hadn't been able to feel my feet for about, I don't know, 6 months. When I walked, I couldn't feel my feet. Well, day 2 on carnivore, I got out of bed, I could feel my feet. I was like, this feels like maybe the inflammation's going away. So then it just kept getting better. I lost my sense of taste and smell just before COVID hit, and it wasn't related to COVID. I really truly believed it was cognitive problem, in around plaque or whatever. Well, that was 3 years ago, and I'm starting to get my taste and smell back, which was huge. Anyway, I just kept eating the meat, cooking the meat, eating the butter, tons of butter, because that's what Bella said to do. And she had great success, so I kept doing that. And everything changed. I mean, my diverticulitis backed right off. Like the second week, I noticed a difference. Um, I was borderline diabetic, scoliosis, degenerative disc, so all that pain. About the fourth day in, I didn't have any more pain.
In
So
four
it was
days,
like
the pain was
four,
gone.
4 days in. So
So
I said,
so
this is
just
going to be,
just to
yeah,
clarify, you've gone from basically bedbound to being pain-free and mobile in 4 days.
4 days I was pain free. And I thought it was a fluke, but I uh, kept going. And I got back into the swimming. I swim 4 days a week now, and I walk up there. So, we have a nice facility with the hot tub and the sauna and all that. I wasn't taking advantage of it all. And then, yeah, boom, I was ready to go. So I have complete confidence in the carnivore diet. I have lost too much weight. I will admit to that, simply because I don't think I can eat enough calories to maintain uh, a little bit better weight. But I'm not giving up anything to put on weight. I just simply think, I eat a big ribeye, a pound and a half of hamburger, bacon, eggs. I have to be careful. I get a histamine reaction. I do also have to be careful with oxalates. I oxalate dump, and then I know when it's coming, and I just eat a couple of figs or maybe a small piece of chocolate or a cup of black tea, and that's fine. That's gone. But I don't know when the oxalate dumping will stop. I did read Sally's book on that, and I figure it may be a while left before I can, really uh, stop with that, because it's uncomfortable. But all those years of raw juicing and raw foods, that
Wow. So that first day when you went out and bought ribeyes and stuff like that to get started, when was that? How long
that
ago?
was 3 years, November 2nd. 3 years ago, this November 2nd.
Wow. So 2022, November 2022.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so after 3 years, I guess, you're just like, "There's no way I'm going back now." 3 years
No way I'm
pain-free.
going back. There's no way. My doctor's having a fit. My cholesterol right now is 365.
That's your total cholesterol.
Yeah. But my triglycerides dropped to, first it was from, I don't know, two something to 60. And now it's even below that. So after listening to everybody talk about it and not be worried about it, she wanted to put me on statins. She still wants to, and gets mad at me because I won't. But yeah, I'm not. I'm not on any medication at all.
Wow. And before, when you had the pain from the scoliosis
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that stuff, were you taking medications at that point?
I was not. I was suffering through it. Uh, Cannabis is legal here. I used to do edibles at night so I could sleep. Uh, and once in a while, the ibuprofen. But it was the back brace and lying down on the latex pad.
So
So,
your children thought you were going crazy when you first started. What
yeah.
do they feel almost 3 years in?
Well, my oldest son, my daughter's the oldest, they're so supportive. He turned carnivore. So, and he said he never felt better. So, he's in his 40s. So, he said he cheats once in a while and he regrets it every time, whatever. But yeah, he's on carnivore. And everybody's supportive. Everybody's supportive. I think if we just reflect on, we have this, I'm devoted to my peace within. And so if I'm feeling that, then I can, go about my day. And I wasn't feeling that for so long because I was miserable. I was miserable and I couldn't concentrate at all. Couldn't really speak clearly a lot of the times. So I don't know.
So
This is,
that's something else. You talked about cognitive decline. So ha has that improved? Like your focus is better
oh,
and
yeah.
speaking and stuff?
Yeah. This has improved so much. I was losing my words. I couldn't really uh, remember a lot of what I was supposed to be doing. It was progressing, I thought, pretty fast. For my age, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. And, I was just sick all the time, no energy and sick. Now, uh, I might be a little hesitant when I talk, but you don't know the difference. It's like night and day. Even my family noticed. Yeah, my family noticed. Yeah.
So, does it almost feel to you like the last 3 years have been winding back the clock?
Yes.
So you're sorry, 76 now?
Yeah, going on that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, you were basically in a semi-state of incapacity over 3 years ago, and now you're moving around pain-free. Have you kind of like, how has that changed your day now?
Well, uh, I buried my last horse in 2010 because I couldn't do it anymore. My back, physically, I could not do it. How many years ago was that? Yeah. So then uh, I just felt, yeah, I can't do it anymore. I wanted to continue, but I couldn't. So I would say, my son asked how young do you feel after 3 years on? Well, did it take 10 years off your life? No, it took 20 because I couldn't move in 2010 very very easily. So yeah, it now I don't know about the weight loss. I am concerned a little bit about that. I simply can't eat enough calories. So I'm wondering, maybe incorporate some of the cheeses, aged cheeses for calories,
So,
something.
what you listed before sounded like a lot of food. Like, um, are you are
I eat
you
a lot.
eating that much in a day?
I
Like,
eat a ton of food.
is it 3 meals?
No, I usually eat 2 meals.
Mm.
I usually eat 2 meals, but that includes a pound and a half of hamburger, probably 4 egg yolks, 6 or 8 pieces of bacon, and some form of steak. I like the shoulder. Uh, yeah, no,
You're
I
you're
eat
eating more
constantly.
than me.
I eat so much food. And I've been tested for everything. You know, the doctor had me go in for everything. I do have a heart murmur and some heart regurgitation issues with I have issues with my heart. But there's nothing that's going to talk me out of sticking with carnivore. Nothing.
Mm.
Because I just don't want to go back to where I was before.
So, when you hear people say the carnivore diet's dangerous and plant-based is the best way to eat, what do you think about that?
I would say they say, "Oh, there's not enough time testing on the carnivore. You don't, whatever." I might have heard this somewhere. What are the results on the stuff that is time tested? You know, no good. Everybody's got prostate. You know, the men and the people I swim with. Everybody's got these issues. You know that they can't resolve. I think they kind of shut off. I don't talk a lot about my diet with everybody, just my close friends and family, but I think the idea of just eating meat is just atrocious to a lot of people. But take it from a vegetarian. Eventually this will catch up with you, whether it be the oxalate, overload, inflammation, and yeah, I weighed 130, but all of it was just like inflammation. So, yeah, I would say just give carnivore a try. Just for 30 days, even if you can't do 30 days, try a week because day 2 I could feel my feet again. And day 4 my pain was gone. So, my sister said, "Well, you didn't have to take medication, so the pain couldn't have been that." Well, it was that bad. It was. So everybody has their own journey, but I really feel like listen to your intuition, listen to your heart, because I knew something was wrong, and then da here come the videos.
Right. So, was it when you found Bella's videos, was that just by chance, or
It
had
was
you
just by
kind of?
chance. Yeah,
Wow.
just by chance. I had the YouTube on. There was somebody else too. Uh, can actually referred me to your channel. Uh, he's got the homestead.
Oh,
Um,
Kerry.
yeah, yeah, yes. And so then once I got onto your channel after a little bit, I could hear everybody's, story, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on the right road. I'm on the right road. Uh, I
I
forget what you asked me now, but
No, so yeah, I was just like that initial video you saw of Bella's. It just
yeah,
because you were searching around for
right. I
food
saw
things. Or
hers, and then I saw when I heard, I think it's Rod, can't think of his last name, but he was on your channel. He had my story. He had my story. I drank for a number of years. Uh, the raw food, the raw juice. Uh, he had my story. Bella's before and after pictures floored me, floored me because she had the eczema going on and the different histamine reactions. And I learned a lot from her channel on the histamine reactions with the eggs and stuff. So that was good. Listening to her, and then everybody else, Dr. Barry, everybody else, just kind of they kept putting these videos in front of me because when you listen one time, you get an influx of more, and that's what happened.
so, has anyone kind of said, "What are you doing? You're losing weight. You've got more energy than I ever saw you before. You're not spending all day in bed. What
Yeah,
happened? Please tell me."
I think my family was most shocked. They just didn't know, and yeah, I just I keep telling them that I have full confidence in carnivore and I won't go back. I'll never go back uh, because I'm able to get up and cook my food. I know how to cook a steak now, which I didn't think I'd ever know how to cook one, but I do, and they're delicious. And we have a local markets. You know, they butcher right there. They a lot of most of them are organic, so I have that luxury of getting the good food. Um, the weight gain, I am perplexed. I mean, the weight loss, but so what?
I
I'm
think your
skinny.
idea about adding some cheese in is a good idea.
Maybe
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
add more of the aged cheese.
Mm,
And that would be a good addition.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so when you go swimming with your group, like
yeah,
I guess, you know, you talked about the men are mentioning the prostate troubles and all this kind of thing.
yes,
Like, I guess a lot of the people are dealing with some pain, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's everyone I run into because I go the time the seniors go. It's 5:30 in the morning, and they've all got their issues. The one fellow that I'm really hoping will listen a little bit is a vegan diet, and he was very sick all winter with last winter with colds and flu and everything. And I keep telling him, you know, it's the oxalates. You got to start eating carnivore. And he asked me a little bit about it, but not much. And the girls, they just think I'm too skinny. Well, why don't you, you know, how can you, you're so thin. You know, it's like they don't realize that I may be thin, but I feel fantastic. You
Yeah,
know,
and that's the main thing, right? You
yeah,
just feel so good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And uh, the muscle weakening and stuff, I had atrophied right down to zero because I was in the bed all the time. So now that's getting better, you know, slowly but surely. I mean, you can't take 52 years of abuse, which we ended up, you know, in 1972 turning vegetarian, a lot of the family. So that's 1972. And then in between, I ate some meat, but not a lot. So
So, like, do you have some osteopenia or something like that, or
I'm sure I've got all of it. I'm not a doctor person, so the only time I really went was for my prenatal care with the babies. But yeah, right now my current doctor is just going right sky high off the roof on the cholesterol,
so it's
right off the roof.
it's so funny how they can't like there's just that one number that they can't like
Yeah,
they can't look at anything else. It's just it's a barrier.
no. And I
Yeah.
know I was so painfully low in vitamin D3. I didn't know you could get it in like pork fat and different fats of the meats we eat. I had no clue. And, you know, in the winter in Maine, and because being in the bed, I wasn't outside in the sun a lot. So, you know, that made a difference. But no, they all say, geez, you're so thin. You know,
But yeah, I mean, your answer should always just be, "And I feel fantastic."
right,
Yeah.
right.
Um, so assuming one of your friends came to you and said, "Okay, look, Kathy, I'm gonna try this. I wanna try it." Based on your experience, what advice or tips would you give them for starting carnivore?
Depending on their health issue, because I lived in the bathroom anyway, um, because I did get the fat uh, reaction, you know, from the cold turkey to go right from the vegetables to the. They could try to ease into it, My suggestion would be dive in, because if you're easing into it, you're going to want your scones, you're going to want your donuts, you're going to want all of it, and then you're going to feel guilty because you're not juicing or eating your salad, and all of that. So I would say dive in. I would say dive in, because you'll see a dramatic difference, usually right away, from what I've heard from other people too. So that would be my suggestion. Dive in, don't look back.
Right.
Give it
Yeah.
a try. Give it a good try.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. So Kathy, if people want to reach out to you, do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
Um, I can give you an email where somebody could reach me. It's not my regular email. It would be SEECMC at Yahoo. And you can put that up if you want. I just, yeah, anybody can reach out. I'd be glad to talk to anybody. Uh,
Yeah.
we help each other, and I'm so grateful for the community, because every time I hear something different, I hear something that I can use. I just found out about how to cook my how to cook my egg yolks. I just found out the poaching is a good thing for me to do. After 3 years, I just came onto that. So there's always something new to learn, and it's
Mm.
simple. It's simple. You go to the grocery. What do you buy? A couple of steaks, some hamburger, bacon, and butter.
It really does simplify life, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And I appreciate you having me on, and all that you do for your channel, because I learn something every time when I turn it on. And people's stories are all different.
Mm.
They're
Well,
all different.
thank you. So I'll share that email address in the show notes. Um,
Sure.
Kathy, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome.